You've definitely noticed this, right? Your phone doesn't always charge at the same speed. Sometimes it feels like a slow trickle, and other times, boom, it's just blazing fast. So how does your charger know exactly how much juice to send without, frying your device? Well, it all comes down to some really brilliant engineering called USB-C power delivery. I mean, it's a totally fair question. You're plugging this tiny little phone into a charger that was built for a seriously power-hungry laptop. The reason nothing goes horribly wrong is because your devices are having a super fast, super smart conversation before any real power starts to flow. All right, so to really get how this digital conversation works, we first have to look at where it all begins, the physical connector itself, the good old USB-C port. And yeah, on the outside, it looks so clean, so simple. It's symmetrical, which we all love because you can't plug it in the wrong way. It just works. But if we peek inside, oh man, it is a completely different world. It's this marvel of complex engineering. Just look at all those pins. Every single one has a very specific job, and that complexity is the secret to all its power. And here's the key takeaway. A USB-C port is not just a dumb power pipe. It's got dedicated lanes for power, separate lanes for high-speed data, and, most important for our story today, a special channel just for communication. It's called the CC line, and this is where all the magic happens. This really shows you the night and day difference. Old chargers were simple. They just pushed out one fixed amount of power, take it or leave it. But USB-C, totally different game. It starts a negotiation first, which makes it a smart system, not just a strong one. Which brings us to the absolute heart of this whole thing, that negotiation. We call it the digital handshake, and it's an entire conversation that happens literally in the blink of an eye. Okay, so let's break it down. First, you plug in the cable. Instantly, the charger announces, hey, I'm a 65-watt charger. I can offer 5, 9, 15, or 20 volts. Your device hears that, checks its own specs, and shoots back, awesome, I'm a phone that can handle 9 volts for fast charging. I'll take that one, please. And then once they agree, and only then, does the charger send the requested power. Now, this language they're speaking, it has a name, USB power delivery, or just USB PD. Think of it as the set of rules for that conversation. And its number one rule, its top priority, is safety. No high power boost happens until both sides give the thumbs up. And hey, remember that special pin we mentioned a minute ago? This is it. That entire back and forth conversation happens on that physical CC line. It's basically a dedicated conference call line just for power negotiation. This simple but absolutely brilliant process is why our world of gadgets just works. Your phone can tell a huge laptop charger, hey, I only need a little bit of your power. And a big laptop can recognize that a tiny phone charger just isn't enough. So it'll either charge super slowly or not at all. Everything safely finds its perfect match. So what are these options that the devices are actually choosing from during this handshake? Well, you can think of it like they're picking from a preset menu of power levels. Yeah, think of it just like this. When the charger makes its announcement, it's showing off this menu. 5 volts, that's your universal standard basic charging for anything. 9 volts is perfect for fast charging a smartphone. 15 volts is for bigger stuff, like tablets. And 20 volts, that's reserved for the heavy hitters, like your laptop. Your device just orders what it knows it can handle. But of course, the technology doesn't stop there. The next evolution is something called programmable power supply, or PPS. Now, if the standard menu is like ordering a small, medium, or large drink, PPS is like telling the barista you want exactly 12.7 ounces. It allows for tiny, precise, real-time adjustments to the power flow. And why does that even matter? Well, because that kind of fine-tuned control is way more efficient. It generates less wasted heat, which is so much better for your device, and it actually helps preserve the long-term health of your battery. It's not just about charging faster, it's about charging smarter. Okay, so we've got a smart charger, and we've got a smart device, but there is one more piece to this puzzle that most people have no idea about. The cable itself can also be smart. That's right. For high-power stuff, like charging a laptop, the USB-C cable has its very own tiny little microchip inside. It's called an e-marker. It's literally a brain inside the cable. And this chip has a super important job. It jumps into that handshake and tells the charger and the device what it's capable of. It chimes in and says, hey everyone, I'm a 100-watt cable. Feel free to use high voltage. Or maybe, whoa there, I'm only rated for 60 watts, so don't you dare send any more than that. It even reports its top data speed. And this right here is the ultimate failsafe. If you use some cheap cable that doesn't have an E-marker or one that just isn't rated for high power, the system doesn't risk it. The charger sees the cable isn't certified for speed and automatically drops down to a much slower, universally safe charging rate. The whole system is designed to prevent accidents. So just like an iceberg, that simple act of plugging in a cable is hiding this incredible amount of complexity and intelligence right below the surface. It's a three-way conversation between the charger, the cable, and your device, all happening in milliseconds every single time. And really, that's the main thing to remember. The genius of USB-C power delivery isn't just about cramming more power down a wire to be faster. It's about creating an entire ecosystem of safe, intelligent, and adaptable power that just works for everything. So the next time you plug in your phone or your laptop, just remember what's really going on in there. It's a perfect example of a small, simple connector powered by some seriously big intelligence.